Greetings everyone, my name is Dietrich, and welcome to my Let's Try of Callie's Trials, a roguelike action platformer developed by VDO Games. This game is actually a Steam remastered version of Callie's Caves 2, which used to be an Android and iOS title. In fact, the entire Callie's Caves series was originally on the Android and iOS platforms. But number 2 and 3 have been ported over to Steam. First 3, which was well received, and now 2, which has been rebranded as Callie's Trials. I got a key from VDO Games and Dietrich online services to play this, so I would like to take a look at it. What makes this game unique is that there's over 110 levels, there are 6 biomes, 6 so-called insane bosses, and we have 12 different weapon classes to level up. Yep, we have weapon leveling here, and leveling weapons not only increases their damage and fire rate and other things, but can also increase their unique effects. We have the classic pistol, shotguns, and machine guns, but we have other things as well. We have an item power-up store, 38 songs, and a roguelike structure to this game, which does change in Callie's Caves 3, by the way. But alas, in this game, we played a 6-year-old girl named Callie, whose parents have been just kidnapped by maniacal Herbert, the main antagonist of Callie's Caves 1. Here's Callie's home, of course, and no one's home. Oh, by the way, it's probably a good idea to show the controls right now. I'm going to be using the keyboard exclusively. Space to jump, left right to go left right, pause is enter. Shoot by pressing Z, X to use your sword, and C to swap your weapons. We started with a pistol, as you see here, fires at a decent rate, and almost all weapons have infinite ammo, so that's nice. On the top left part of the screen, we have the floor we're on, Callie's overall experience. You can level up in this game, the amount of health she has remaining, 3 hearts by default, and the amount of money she has. On the top right is your current weapon and its weapon level. I have a pistol and it's at level 1. And at the top next to the skull bar, that's basically my experience. But alas, let's talk with one of our friends. It's Lloyd from the first game. Yep, and Herbert, as the mad scientist he is, he's kidnapped her parents and has turned the entire cave system into a twisted version of its own self, filled with vile animals and monsters, and he's built a giant base inside of it. So it's our job as Callie, the 6-year-old girl, to go rush into there, destroy his monsters, defeat him, and save our parents. But before that, let's take a look at his shop. Over here we have all the shop items that we can buy. We can buy a health refill, a coin multiplier, a triple jump, we can reduce enemy HP by 1, and we have the more expensive upgrades here, like we can upgrade our sword, our chance to dodge, a sword upgrade for the second one, and health regen. Not to mention we can actually level up twice if we really want to, and more incremental upgrades. Most of them are kind of par of the course with our weapon upgrades and health upgrades and levels, but things like the energy wave, the dodge, and the reduced enemy seems quite interesting. Oh, and because this follows a roguelike structure, well, if you die, you're sent right back to the beginning. This is of course changed with the checkpoint structure of Callie's Caves 3. Plus we do have the option to buy respawns if necessary. But of course we can't really buy a shortcut until we complete the zone or reach there. So a lot of good stuff in the shop, although I won't be able to buy any of it. Oh yeah, and here are all of the shortcuts, by the way. And here are the caves. Chapter 1, Humble Beginnings. Now, keep in mind, this is my first impressions of the game, so it's basically like a blind let's play. I'll be spending about 30 minutes on this title, so my apologies if I make some very silly or terrible mistakes. Sure, I'm used to roguelike platformers, but as this is my first time, well, I may die a few times. Alas, let's see what this game has to offer. I spent enough on the main screen. Also, Callie comes with a double jump as well. So it's a nice intro here where you can't really get damaged. This should show off the mechanics. Ooh, and I do like how the enemies are introduced. We have this bear cub. Hold on. Okay, the sword and... Okay, the sword and pistol do the same amount of damage. Nice to know. We can't jump beneath those floors. Oh, okay, and the pistol does not stun the bear cubs, but the sword does. Okay, we gain experience by using our weapon. Not for just killing it, just by using it we gain experience. We're getting these green... whatever. Okay, it's money. Do I get it? Oops, that was bad. Oops. This is not really going that well. Ooh, okay, we get hearts at least. Okay, if I use the sword, I don't actually get any weapon experience. The only way you can upgrade your sword is through the shop. So I better use the pistol more, but it is a little bit more risky. Plus, I can only use the pistol left and right, I can't really fire downwards. I suppose this dichotomy between the pistol and the sword will become important for boss fights. Oh good, we leveled up our pistol. I suppose we need a swimming upgrade, and falling in there is instant death. Judging from experience from other platformers, I'm not going to risk this. Easy first level. Okay, and we deal about 20% more damage. Ooh, the shotgun. So it's probably going to be a close-range spread weapon. Wow, it fires a lot faster than I would expect a shotgun to be in these games. Yep, I already realized that. If you hit enemies, you'll see a red bar. As long as I'm right in front of them, they're pretty good. But if I stay at a long range, or medium or long range using the shotgun, the pistol will be better because each projectile only does 0.5 damage. Here we have these knife bandits. Okay, I do like that we have the gradual introduction of these enemies. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, we can stun these enemies using the pistol, so different weapon types can actually stun different types of enemies. The bear cubs are too durable to actually use a pistol to actually hurt. I wonder if or to stun them. I wonder if the shotgun can actually stun them as well. Oh! Wait a minute. I'm curious. Alright, I leveled up my weapon. Oh, I can grind for money, although I won't do that. Perhaps when I do a let's play of this title, if I like it enough, I'll grind a bit. As this seems like a quite interesting title, and the fact we're only on level 2 really increases my interest of the title. I mean, there's a lot. It seems to be quite a bit of areas you can go through. Better stay out of the water, as he's saying. I guess we'll have some areas which will need the triple jump to progress, of course. Perhaps not mandatory areas, but optional areas. Okay, we get all of these gems. I quite like the presentation and how the enemies are being slowly introduced in more difficult configurations and platforming. As we saw initially, the design of the level taught the player that they have to double jump to progress, and the bear cubs were positioned so that he can easily escape if necessary. Okay, I can't really stun these bear cubs with the shotgun, sadly. Oh, pesky spider. Okay, we're gradually getting more difficult enemies. The bear cubs only moved left and right, similar to the knife bandits, but these actually jump. And I do like the snazzy intro as well. Ow. This is going to be a little bit more dangerous to take care of, though. Too bad I can't really fire downwards. That would make it a lot easier to deal with. Oh good, he can't jump over this. That's nice to know. And the music is pretty atmospheric and interesting. Sure it is, I don't really find it memorable yet, but at least it is soothing to listen to the ears while during these action sequences. Oh, and I leveled up my shotgun to level 3. Didn't notice. Now each pellet does 0.6 damage. The game seems easy enough now, but I'm 100% certain it's going to get really difficult when I get to the first boss. Yep, spike drop. I expected as much. Good thing that I have these gold pieces to guide you. Now we have a rabbit bat, which act like basically flying enemies that slowly home in on your position. Oh, okay. Slowly getting more challenging as it's kind of harder to hit these. Oh, whoa. Yeah, and we have knockback too, so be careful. Oh, these segments are starting to get a little bit more challenging. Well, I haven't gotten defeated yet, but if you get defeated, you'll respawn back well, you spawn back in your home, but you'll retain all the money you've got. And you can buy a lamp if you want one revive. And if you fall in the water or lava, you will respawn back at the beginning of the level, but there's only so many times. Can I get up there? Nope, this is one of these areas where you need the triple jump. Okay, so there will be secrets. There will be several secrets to explore. Yep, I need triple. Yep, I leveled up my pistol to level 2 and shotgun to level 3. Not that many major differences yet, other than increased damage potential. Here's the pistol, for example. Wow, that last level. And as this is a let's try, I'm kind of rushing through things, just to show more of of these level gimmicks. When I inevitably do my let's play in about a month or so, or less than a month, I'll take it a little bit more slowly and show off everything. More carefully show off everything. But I do like the presentation and how enemies and stage hazards are being slowly introduced. Oh, shotgun's level 4, so I suppose this is one of those major upgrades. Okay, for every 4 levels then we get a major upgrade. Oh, and we can see that the guns increased in size, and so have the projectiles. So that's nice. Can we do the same thing with the pistol? I want to take a look and see how the pistol looks, of course. Probably shouldn't take too long because these enemies are higher level. There we go. But as I was saying, I do like the gradual introduction of enemies and level hazards in a controlled environment than in more dangerous configurations. Oh. Oh. I thought I was being smart there. I wasn't. Okay, level 3, so it deals 0.2 more damage. And the pistol and shotgun are kind of the more vanilla weapons you can have. They're a lot more crazy things. Like we have the classic rocket launcher, but there are things like, well, I won't spoil it to you, but there's some sort of magical weapons. Oh, and there I died. That's actually quite a frightening screen, if you ask me. Here we're back at Callie's home. We lost all our progress in terms of where we are, but we have over 2,000 gold, so we can buy stuff. Like a health refill, coin multiplier, triple jump, reduce enemy, yeah. Sadly, I don't have enough yet. And we're almost there to leveling up to max health, by the way. I mean, leveling up to a new level. Oh, and the levels are static, even though we have a roguelike environment. It's more like we have checkpoints between stages of sorts. So I'm still in stage 1. And we leveled Callie up. When you level Callie, you gain 2 stat points that you can distribute, I think. But I'll check it when I die again. Sorry if I'm a little bit or taking it slower than I would usually do. Actually, let me bypass most of these enemies and go directly to the tougher segment. It's nice that because of how the enemies are placed, you can actually skip past a lot of them. Well, mainly in the first stage, because most of the enemies are just moving left and right. Well, other than the spiders, which are jumping, and the bats, which home in our position. To be fair, even in the description mentioned for these weapons, this is one of those level up everything games. This was originally on the mobile platform, but this has really souped up a lot of things, like the presentation, the engine, which is a lot more fair in my personal opinion. Not to mention some of the level gimmicks. But as I was saying, the levels are static, even though it has a roguelike system, so I feel it's more like of a classic arcade game, where if you don't complete a stage, you're sent right back to the beginning of the stage. If you run out of lives, you're out of luck. But here, instead of lives, you have infinite lives, but you're sent right back to the home base where you can buy more stuff. So kind of like a classic arcade game mishmashed with some more modern sensibilities. Oh, and getting the screen while in the middle of some dangerous jumps may be annoying. Damage increase, bigger bullets, looks cooler. I suppose this is the weakest weapon then. Sure, it does look cooler, but this was kind of disappointing. I was hoping for something like a fire shot. Then again, the pistol is always going to be kind of the vanilla weapon you start with, so I don't mind too much. Alright, back to the shotgun then. You know what, I'm not going to deal with most of these enemies. I'm just going to probably get some of the gold, of course, but I'm just going to run past it and get to where I last left off. But I will stop on detours in order to get a lot more, to get extra gold. Whoops, that was my first water debt. But thankfully, if you die in a water debt, you're taken to the middle of, or the beginning of the room. That is, if you have some health remaining, I believe. Oh, I really need some heart pickups. There we go. But you do take some damage, so if you run out, I suppose you're taken to the beginning, or back to Callie's home. Oh, and if you do level up, you also gain an extra heart, so leveling up is especially important for survival in the latter parts of the game. Though I suppose in this game you can dodge most, if not all, of the projectiles if you get skilled enough, so I do see a lot of speedrunning potential for this game, assuming this becomes popular enough. And the enemy drop rate of hearts is pretty decent. It is higher than when I'm playing Mega Man games, personally. Hello, Spider. Goodbye, Spider, I'm not going to deal with you. Oh, whoa. Never mind, I have to deal with you. Goodbye. But you do gain more experience, or weapon experience, and general experience, I noticed, if you're fighting tougher enemies. Makes sense. Oh, and these bats probably deal 2 damage as well, which makes them more dangerous. Oh no, just 1 damage. Well, I suppose in later stages, because you can get up to about 15 hearts or so, well, they'll deal a lot more damage. Whoa. And knockback is going to be kind of a problem here, so be very cautious. Well, at least if you fall in one of these bottomless pits, the designers were nice enough to just send you back to the beginning of the stage instead of just sending you to the raw start of the game, that being Callie's home. So I do like that mercy, and it really addresses some of my problems with these platformers, where if they're instant death traps, because you fall into one, it can be quite frustrating when you do fall, because then you have to restart the stage from the checkpoint all over again. I kind of find it rather unfair, especially with some of these drops, but thankfully this game rectifies it by just sending you to the beginning of the stage, with 1 or 2 less hearts to spare. Of course, if you run out of hearts, you're out of luck, but that's true with enemies as well. And actually an auto fire button would be nice for this game because we don't have infinite ammo. Well, a toggleable one. Whoops. Oh, and you're set. Okay, so you're set down to 1 heart. That makes it a lot more dangerous. So yeah, if you do fall in the pit, you will be set to 1 heart, which makes any hit from any enemy basically instantly lethal, and will send you back to the beginning. Come on, wolf. Didn't work in the way I wanted. At least the shotgun has much better range than I would usually think of these games. Let's see if I can get it from here. Or I think the pistol will be better. There we go. Oh, and also in order to get your general experience, you not only need to kill the enemy, but you actually have to get their blue orbs they drop. Where with weapons, as long as you hit the enemy, you get experience, but here, if you don't kill the enemy and collect their blue orbs, you won't get anything. Nice to know. But this game is kind of designed to be played multiple times in order for better survival. Ooh, that was scary. Yep, I do. This is one of those alternate paths similar to level 3, and we need the triple jump. I suppose we need another upgrade as well in this, sure. And we will, definitely. Hello, Smokey. Well, at least it doesn't instantly change direction when we're behind him. So yeah, we will need the triple jump there. Would like some extra lives though. I mean, hearts. Just when I was saying in the earlier part, or an earlier segment, where the enemies drop the health at a decent rate, yeah, there goes that. That goes that assertion. Oh, good, thank you. Oh boy. That was way too close. I can at least stun these human enemies. Oh, whoa. And I failed to do it there. Do we have split paths? I'll be taking the left route then. Oh yeah, we do have split paths. I need a triple jump to go over here. So I suppose there is a secret. Almost there to level 6, so I'll just use the Smokey as a bait. There we go. Let's see how long I can survive. Maybe I can even get to the boss if I'm good enough. Perhaps even get another special weapon. Oh good, level up. Leveling up also refills most of your HP as well. Already a steady increase in difficulty. You saw how I died already a few times in instant death pits, and I congratulate how this game handles instant death, so that's nice. Although I wish it could be a little bit less harsh, like only taking 1 or 2 hearts away, compared to all the hearts it takes, excluding 1. And I wish you could actually press up when you go over those doors instead of getting instantly taken back to the previous room. Oh, and when you do level up, you restore whatever your previous max health was before you leveled up. Yep, and these shooting enemies are getting a lot more dangerous. Because before, any enemy had to hit us with melee, but now we have Smokies who can hit them before. Or Smokies who can hit us at a distance. And here's the other gimmick. I think if I can... He said if I can do it just at the correct time... There we go. That's another interesting gimmick of this game. You can basically do bullet blocking. You can't really block all projectiles, but you can block some of them with your sword. That's why it's given a dedicated button, and so it doesn't really use useless. It doesn't become useless when you play through the game more often, or when you go closer and closer to the end of the game with things like the pistol or other things. It's always useful, especially, and maybe even mandatory for some boss fights. It is very weak though, and we really need to buy upgrades in order to make it useful. I feel it's mostly going to be a utility weapon rather than an offensive weapon like the guns. AKA the swords will be the defensive ones, and the guns are going to be the offense. Well, it's fair to me. It's fine with me. And I do find it I find it an interesting design choice that these chests actually respawn when you go in and out of the room. See, you can get all these gems if you keep going back and forth to the room. I find that to be an interesting design choice, and I would think that the chests would not respawn. Oh well, I suppose it makes it easier to grind. Easier to grind. I haven't found any secrets, but I probably need that dash ability and the triple jump. Haven't gotten my third weapon yet, but then again, I'm barely completed the game anyway. Yeah, for a game that has been ported from mobile platforms, this is done pretty well. We have a minor amount of graphics options, but hey, this is a pixel game, it doesn't really need that much. And we do have several graphics options, like 4x3 and 16x9. And the game performs well. I don't really have any lag or anything. It runs at a very solid 60 frames per second. So, props to the developers for making an optimized PC port. Considering how many mobile developers just use the PC platform and don't put that much effort into porting it correctly. But here we see the developers actually care about the platform, or care about the success here, and they do pay attention to what's useful here. Or what's liked here. Music is becoming more prominent. Oh good, we get level 7 shotgun. So we get a damage increase and an accurate middle bullet. Okay, that's going to be unique. We have more spread, but now our middle bullet will act like the pistol. Okay, so this makes it more like it increases the long range utility of this weapon. Whoa, hello Smokey. And now each pellet will deal 0.5 damage. To be fair, it seems like a downgrade, but because we have so many more projectiles going all over the place, it's pretty much a straight upgrade. I can only imagine how many projectiles will be firing in the level 12 version of this. Actually, maybe not even level 12. 12 is the number of weapons in this game, not the max level, so I'm not even sure. But if the effects get crazier and crazier, I can imagine how big the spread will be. This game doesn't really seem to be one of those over-the-top ones. It seems kind of sedate right now, but I haven't really even reached the first boss fight yet. Oh yeah, and I've noticed it. Even though we have an initial cave setting for stage 1, I do like how each of the stage backgrounds are progressing from different environments, so things don't get stale and things are becoming more memorable. Like we have this green cave background. And the levels for the most part here are very fair, with highlighting of paths using these crystals. So you won't fall into a pit by accident as long as you're careful. And I do like that we have secrets starting from stage 3, where you need to use the triple jump. Oh, okay, here's the boss of stage 1, Mama Bear. I guess it's the leader of all those baby bears. Okay, here it comes. Okay, easy enough. Can she jump? Okay, she moves left and right and does a claw attack. So I just need to move back and forward and you should be fine. Oh, and if I use a shotgun, I could technically just stay here all the time and I will never have issues. Overall, a pretty easy boss fight, but hey, it's teaching you to dodge back and forth. Oh yeah, and be careful and hopefully I don't actually die from being stupid. It's interesting though, I'm kind of expecting the boss to go into a rage mode at half health and jump all over the place. Right now it's just a timing game of waiting for her to move back, and then when she's back enough, just fire at her. Okay, when I jump up here she'll move back and eventually come back here, but whenever I go down she'll immediately switch her position and start advancing towards me. Just be careful of her claw attack range, as it seems to be a little bit bigger than what it looks to be. Her hitbox, that is. This is... Well, for the boss fight itself right now, it feels kind of tedious because I'm just jumping back and forth and the boss hasn't changed up her pattern. And she has a lot of health, so it's just running back and forth. The music is awesome though. Whoa. And she isn't speeding herself up, so... I mean, I could imagine if at very low health she would run much faster and faster. In fact, for a speedrunner, you could be pretty good and just stand up here and take a lot more risks, like using the shotgun a lot more often. Okay. I guess this is our death throws. That's it. And we leveled up to level 4. Wonderful. Oh, there you are. What were you doing behind the boss? Yep, once we defeat a zone's boss, we can buy a shortcut to just skip past the boss. Otherwise, if you're playing through this from the very beginning, the stage, well, you have to refight it. Alright, on to the next zone. I also do like that we have introduction to each zone or chapter. Like now we have a prelude to Carl. Oh, and we have a new gun too. The assault rifle. So, a straight upgrade from the pistol then? Let me take a look at this. I mean, this fires is straight without it. Okay, it does have a little bit of deviation in the bullets. Let's see here. I mean, the pistol will always fire true and straight without any bullet deviation. The shotgun, it has a spread. The assault rifle has one of the fastest fire rates and doesn't have that much of a spread, but its bullet deviation is kind of high. But it does deal the same amount of initial damage that the pistol would do. Oh, nice enough for the level designers to include basic enemies to upgrade our assault rifle with, other than using bats or those spiders or smokies. So, nice attention to detail there. Oh, whoops. I'm just gonna rush through this until I die in order to... And when I do get back home, I'm going to check the shop. Yeah, at long range, this weapon becomes less useful because of the spread, but I suppose some upgrades will fix that problem. As you see in long range, some of the shots are getting absorbed by the ground. But I can see at medium range, this is going to be better than the shotgun. Like for example with the bat and spider enemies, where using the shotgun is kind of too risky. Like here for example. Oh, the pistol is not the pistol. The assault rifle is made for this. But right now, our basic 3 weapons are still very vanilla. We need to get to the, I think, 3rd or 4th zone before we get to more creative weapons. Or at least upgrade these further. And it seems like the amount of experience you get for using each weapon is directly tied to how much damage you deal with them. I'm just going to try getting the assault rifle up to level 4, just to see what other creative upgrades you can get. Alright, level 3, only one more level up to go. Oh, new enemy, turret. Okay, fires, but I can always just block it. I wonder if we can upgrade a bullet to deflect, I wonder if we can upgrade our sword to deflect bullets. That would be interesting. Oh. I guess this is time for our shotgun? Oh. Smart one. Yeah, displacement's a lot more annoying, but hey, it's teaching us to use the sword more often. So, nice to know. If you wanted to speedrun this, you really need to learn how to use the sword here. Oh, okay, here's a tougher configuration with this wolf. And of course it only fires when I'm just a decent enough distance away and when I'm jumping. Clever. So the game is definitely increasing in difficulty, with enemies who are getting smarter and more durable, and being placed in more annoying positions. Well, the assault rifle is becoming a force to be reckoned with, at least. Whoa. And the enemy designs and Callie herself are on the more cartoony side, so everything feels a little bit more expressive. But if I get an enemy like a Smokey or these bandits right next to me, I can basically stun lock them with the assault rifle. Okay, another one of these. I suppose these spikes are also act like the instant death pits. And also I do like that each screen or level is of a medium length. So if you do fail or ascend to the beginning of the level, it isn't too far of a jog. And you are allowed to go back. Oh, green slimes. I think these are... Okay, these are like bats, but they do jump when you hurt them. And they jump more often. I mean, they're like spiders, but more dangerous. I should be going to the next evolution of the assault rifle soon. And it seems like some of these levels have extra paths, so I always appreciate that. Yeah, this screen can be quite annoying when you're in an intense gunfight or in the middle of jumping. Higher DPS, even faster fire rate, and less bullet spread, or deviation, good. Sure, each individual shot is weaker, but it fires faster, so yeah. I guess this is going to be the rapid firing weapon. Maybe the minigun would be the other one, if there is a minigun. Alright, from this point on I'm just gonna rush it until I die. I mean, we've probably seen enough of the main gameplay. I just want to see if we can get to the next boss to see how much more crazy it gets. But I do like we have the enemy variety, starting from those weak enemies moving left and right, enemies who can be originally stunned, enemies who can't, moving on to bats who can slowly move on to your position. Then we have the spiders which jump, We have these slimes which also jump, but more often, and when you hurt them they also jump. And we also have those turrets, which are more annoying versions of the smokies. This was a bad idea. Definitely a bad idea. Oh, of course. Well, it seems like the assault rifles are the premier weapon to get rid of these, because the shotgun is the more risky strategy, and for most players I think just piddling it down would be the safer option. Yep, and there we go, game over. Let's pay one last visit to the shop, and then I'll end this. So we can get a coin multiplier if we want to earn money more easily. We can get the sword upgrade, we can reduce the enemy HP itself, probably will affect bosses. And, oh, here's the energy wave, I think that's the dash weapon. We can also level up immediately. We can also buy shortcuts, but I need more money. But it is a decent money rate. After all, you do get more money for completing stages, and you can level grind. Also, a lamp and extra XP. Let's see how the sword upgrade does. Of course, I've just overlooked the triple jump. Here's the upgraded sword. Doesn't really do much. There's something in the background there. Let's see how much damage it does, of course. 2 damage, as expected. You know what, I'm out of here. Well, I'm just gonna end myself and just go back to the beginning. If you may have noticed, the knockback is kind of important, because if you do get knocked back, well, you're temporarily stunned and pushed back a little bit so you can get shunted into a pit. And the invulnerability time is rather short, so be really cautious. But yeah, this was my Let's Try / First Impressions look at Callie's Trials. It's quite an interesting roguelike action platformer title by VDO. It was originally a mobile title on the Android and iOS platforms, but it was ported along with Callie's Caves tree over onto Steam. And the porting process, I would say, is overall a success, with great performance, several resolution options, and enough options for controller bindings. So if you do like to play something that has a lot of levels, interesting weapons, I only shown off the 3 vanilla ones, being the pistols, assault rifle, and shotgun. They're more crazy weapons. The fact you can level up almost everything, and you can upgrade a lot of different stats, even your own character itself, I would strongly suggest this title. And there's a lot of speedrun potential and skill around this. As you can see, you could probably go from the base level to the end if you're really careful. Although I feel like some of the bosses, just judging from the mama bear, are going to be kind of monotonous. Although that may be just because the first one is tuned to be a little bit too easy. Because I've seen some of the other bosses being a lot more interesting. Because the first one was just moving back and forth. I really think that she should have a second phase where she starts jumping around or starts firing fireballs or something. And I do like that we have a lot of backgrounds and creative music. And most importantly, on the gameplay front, I do like where the players gradually introduced to more mechanics and enemies, starting with showing off the enemies in a safe location and then putting them in more difficult to understand or defeat configurations. As you saw with that turret, for example. First it was put in a place where you can easily jump and shoot at it, but at the second location it was placed in an area where you have to jump up it several times, and because the turret is smart when firing at you, you have to learn how to use things like the blocking of using swords. And the third time is when it has a wolf at the bottom. Not to mention that the stage hazards slowly becoming more pronounced as we start with water, spikes, and other things. But they were introduced in a gradual fashion, and most importantly, the areas were marked with trails of coins, so you wouldn't just be blindly jumping most of the time. And I do like the introduction of secrets. So overall, I do like the stage design and how everything is introduced. this is only for the first stage and part of the second stage, so this may change in the future. So my overall impressions are very positive. I would definitely recommend this title if you like pixel platformers that are a little bit tough and you have a lot of creative weaponry that you can upgrade. Well then, I thank you all for watching and I wish you all a nice day. Toodles!